we're gonna talk about matchups specifically here, especially against the Gangplank and this one. Where does Riven's damage come from?
Her Qs.
Yes, and her passive autos alongside that, right? So how
Right.
do we mitigate the damage she does to us in a trade?
So baiting out her Qs, especially her third Q, and then after she has her third Q, she doesn't really have much.
Sure. Something else you can do, which is really important. You said her Qs do damage, right?
Mhm.
If you maintain a consistent space so that she... Oh, whoops, those were terrible arrows. If you maintain a consistent space so that she has to Q like this to get closer, she's not hitting you with them, right?
Right.
That's how you play against Riven. You make her use her Qs to travel, not to do damage. Right?
Okay.
Right?
I like the concept.
It's
Okay.
really, really important. So this was great, right? Because you traded with shield. So even if she traded back, she wouldn't do damage. But then after this, I want you to watch. You walk up without shield or Q.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
she... And, it's really importantly, you're next to her so that she doesn't have to travel with Q. She can just hit you with it straight up, right? Wait
Right.
for it. In a second. You see? She's on you. You should be...
She's already autoing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So what should be the case is you should be keeping the distance until you have shield again and Q again.
Okay.
So this is great distance, right? Because she has to use one Q to get close. But then you walk up, and then that's a really bad trade, right? In isolation.
Yeah, and I
it
don't have any. Yeah, I don't have nothing to use.
it
No
works out
passive.
well.
No.
But if you do this at any level later on, especially, right, this is doomed. A doomed situation, right? So I needed to know that you knew how to beat Riven. This is how you beat her. Okay.
Mhm.
Really important.
So there's her third Q.
Uh-huh.
Get 2 Qs on her.
And you're doing trades. Okay, there we go. That's the first bit of micro, right? So there's very little micro. One is a broad concept that applies to all champions, most champions. And this one's Shen related. Your W usage, I don't like. You try to predict when to cast it, and I think that's really bad. Wait, I'm not saying I think. I don't know why I said I think. It is really bad. What you should be doing is you should be reacting to her auto-attacking you, so you guarantee get value out of it, right? If you try and predict when she autos you, half of your W's in this game do nothing. You just walk up to a W and she doesn't actually hit you, right? Whereas you can wait for her arm to swing around with a sword and react to that and press W, right? That's really important.
Okay.
There
So
are
more
spells...
reaction based.
Yeah. So when you can react, you should, because it's not that hard to react to stuff, right? If you try and predict, very often, like it just you miss very often, right? So you should always react when you can. There are some stuff you have to predict, right? So like something like a Renekton next to you, W auto you is not reactable, right? So you have to predict it, right? But when you can react, you should. It's much more consistent.
Gotcha. The ones I think of initially are like the Wukongs,
You can react to the Wukong one. The Q over
the Ornn.
Yeah. You can react to all of those. Yeah. Good. The Brittle auto.
Gotcha.
That's very important to do, because Brittle auto takes, like, it's very slow. So... Right, and this is where you need to learn a new concept, like a straight up league concept. I want you to watch this whole thing. This looks fantastic, right? I just want you to watch the whole thing and tell me what the problems are. There are multiple.
Oh, I remember this. Oh,
What's the problem? What's the problem micro-wise? Tell me.
I. That's more macro. I don't know macro wise. I warded the wrong bush.
I mean,
I thought my
it's
ignite was
fine
gonna.
to chase the bush, so I understand. So, okay, we're going to talk about two things. First one is your pathing. Okay, watch your pathing and tell me where you click to go when you're
It
trying
should
to
be
run
a
it down.
straight. It should be a straight line towards their tower to intersect them.
Yes, so where's she gonna run? She might run like this way, right? But you can cut her off, right? Or something like this. You want to basically look at where she needs to get to safety and cut her off like this, right? Very important. But look at where you click. Your intention is to go backwards and follow her. You shouldn't do that. You should always be positioning, first of all, relative to the blade, so you get the pull through, and secondly, to cut her off, right? Because just watch. So you should be going right here, right now. You understand? So she can't walk past, and because that's where she wants to go, right? But if you go down, she's just gonna go whoop, like this, and then you can't stop her.
Right. Okay.
So always decide where they want to run to for safety and cut them off. Okay.
Got it. Because I think because I didn't trust myself that I was easily winning this trade, that I kind of like half-ass committed.
Hmm.
So I just gotta continue to walk in between autos towards her where she's going.
You could have killed
Like
her.
I shouldn't just.
You would have been able
Yeah.
to, if you were in the right spot. You could have done. Because think about where, if you stop her from getting past here, right? If you block this exit, where does she run? Behind tower? No, that's not happening, right? Like it is.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go. So it's really important to always like, and if she tries to go this way, you block the exit there. If she tries to go this way, you block the exit there, right? Like you always think about their exit path. This is a really important fundamental that took me a while to learn personally. It's quite a hard concept. What else is the problem here with this now? So you want to kill her really badly, right?
Yeah. I could hold the wave.
No, that's nothing to do with it. I'm talking
No.
about no, micro with her. So what's the problem with carrying on running at her? If she's the same speed as you, will you ever catch her?
No. And I
No.
have no gap close.
Right. So you have the only way you ever catch her if she's running the same speed as you is if you have a gap close, right? Something to accelerate yourself. But that's in 13 seconds. So what you never ever do, this applies in team fights as well, you never just keep running at them. That's really obvious. What you do is you kite around, waiting for this to come up, and then once this is up, then you go forward.
Okay.
Right, really
Okay.
important. It's the same as if you, let's say you taunt, there's an AD carry here, you taunt and you land here, but it misses, right? And then they flash away. You don't just keep walking at them, because they're gonna auto attack you to death and kite you, right?
Yeah.
What you do is you walk around, wait for your, try and kite whilst until your thing comes out. This is playing around your cooldowns, right? You never just run at people when you can't actually catch them, because it's pointless.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
They will always be the same speed as you or faster, because Riven has more dashes as well. So here, if you want to keep chasing, what you do is you play slowly, you walk around here, you don't get in range to be engaged on, because remember, like we said, you always keep the space versus Riven, right? So that she has to Q to gap close. You stand around here until you have taunt, and then maybe you like bait her out of the bush, and then like something like this, right? But you've got to acknowledge that there's multiple things here, in that you can't, especially you cannot just run at them. You will never catch them. So I would much rather you gave up and you went back to the farming, right? Because you realized I can't catch her.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Okay.
Okay, cool. And then this is just sad, but it's okay.
Yeah. I don't know my strength there.
Yeah. So here, just to tie in the concept of pathing towards, where would you path to? Now that you have hindsight, if you know you win here, which you do, where would you path to?
I would just start pathing to middle bush and towards her tower.
Where would you want to run to safety right now? From where?
So right to her tower.
Right. So you want to kind of block this off.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So you want to kind of like do this, right, to block that off. Right. So you start to get it, right, but instead you go down, which is, and you didn't intend to kill it, or you didn't realize, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's the whole idea. Win anyway. Great.
Yeah. Okay.
So what does that allow you to do?
That allows me to shove under.
Yep. And
I don't know what else there'd be
good,
to do.
because you have missed multiple opportunities this game, right? So that's what I want to showcase. This is
Okay.
another opportunity. When someone's dead, right? How long is it until when you ult away? What do you typically lose?
Experience and farm.
Is that it? Because that's not the first thing that will come to mind to me.
And tower plates.
Tower plates is the big thing that comes to mind for me, right?
Okay.
A tower plate, roughly in gold, is equal to about a wave with it, including a cannon, right? So
Okay.
these are worth much more than whatever you're saying, you know? When you push the wave in here, right? Can the enemy take plates? What's going to happen? Tell me.
When I shove it under, it's gonna pretty much reset the wave, and they're gonna be able to get to my tower plates faster.
But how long will it take to like take all the CS and then like see if you put this under tower now?
It'd take 35 seconds for his wave to come back.
Okay,
Assuming
let me
they're at
rephrase. Let me rephrase. How long is it going to be until Riven can hit this tower?
So a full wave, and then that'd be.
It probably has to kill another wave and then hit the tower, right? On top of that, she has a respawn timer, right?
Oh,
So
right.
if you altered away now, what would you lose?
It'd be. I'd lose pretty much nothing. It'd be the
Exactly.
perfect window.
Right, exactly, right? So that's why I'm like, wait, why are you not trying to ult away here? And you might be like, but what do I do? Right? And I want you to look what you could do, potentially. Right? So the thing is here, I don't care if she holds a freeze, because an ult away is worth 1,000,000 times more. Like, genuinely, right?
Okay.
So I don't know if what you're thinking here might be is, I need to crash this, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
you don't always have to crash the wave if you're Shen. Your alternative is to kill people bot lane, right?
Right.
So this was an ult opportunity. Do you see it now?
I guess I don't really see where my ult opportunity is. Like, no one's really
Great.
fighting. Everybody just like ping.
No one's fighting. But that's why, let's tie this in, this is really important. As Shen, you should be the shot caller for when people fight. Like, legitimately, when I play Shen, and when really high elo Shens play, they're pinging their bot lane to go in, or stuff like this, right? And they use their bot lane as like a submarine, right? But here, you should see that, okay, I have time to ult away and not lose anything, but potentially gain a lot if it works. So I really want them to fight, so I'm going to spam ping them, go in. You should even type, go fight bot, I'll ult you. Right here, after you back. So here, you should be the shot caller. You see how there could be a fight? Look at this. You could ping Karma to go in or something, right?
Yeah, I type in R's up, but I should be more.
No, yeah, you're just reactive.
And...
You're reactive, right?
Yeah.
Shens will hit a cap if they're purely reactive, because they're not actually making plays, right? They're just going with the gold game, right? When if you actually shot called to go here, this would be much higher level, right? Tell the Karma to go in and just use her as a vessel.
Right. Okay. I totally see that, because I do find myself like coin flipping if my team's ahead and if I can get good R's. I gotta be more.
Do you see this? And then now you guys lose bot as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And compared to what you're losing, absolutely fuck all. There's nothing being lost right now, right? Riven's just got into lane, and you react now after losing first blood, and it finally works. Take a ult opportunity then. So let's take the watch. Okay, we're getting there. So the plates are gonna fall soon, right?
Yeah.
So you can even ult in 5 seconds and be fine. You could even ult, right?
Yeah.
She wouldn't have time to push the wave and take plates if you ulted now.
Oh, right. The timing. Okay.
Exactly. And then here, you're like, okay, great, right? Great stuff. I won this lane, right? Plates are going to be down. I've got a great ult window to ult away now, right? And again, do you see how you're just running at her?
Yeah, I should just go back to the wave.
You can't catch her. She has way more gap closers, especially... Nice dodge. Right? But you want to kill. You really want to kill. But here, I see a giga huge ult window where I cannot kill anyone. And here...
Yeah, because they have...
Yeah, go on.
They have two top, and they can't really get plates. It'd be a great opportunity to go across the map.
Yeah, exactly. So here, you look at all opportunities, right? And you shot goal. Engage, ult the Nunu, right? Because even if you go, what's Nautilus going to do? He's going to hit the turret, doing 4 damage a second to the turret. Like, it doesn't do anything, right? Whereas if you ult Nunu now, right? So do you start to see, how, like, especially after 14 minutes, you can shot call these, or like, you can look for more opportunities. You don't have to crash the wave first, right? This was a potential kill on Caitlyn. Do you see the Nunu snowballing it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the whole concept of being able to shot call an R like that is totally foreign to me, and I see the opportunity. Like, that's a totally different
it's a different way to play Shen, right? Like, usually you're reactive, you just play like you have a shield, but that's not what Shen is, right? You can't just play Shen like a shield bot. Here, you see how, because you're still top lane, and you're valuing staying in lane, and potentially, I feel like you're just bloodthirsty, you want to kill Riven. Like, ask yourself, is killing Riven here going to win you the game, and getting gold solo on Shen going to win the game? Or is killing the enemy and getting gold on your teammates going to win the game, right? And it's not even close.
Right, okay.
Tell me about the GP matchup.
Alright, my second most played champ is GP, and for whatever reason, because of that, I love going into GP as Shen.
Okay.
But I understand blocking his Qs with my passive and W.
Yep.
But because I play so much GP, I love this matchup. Like, I know exactly how they're thinking.
How do you beat the GP early? It's really important you do.
Yeah, level 2 is, I always try to get the push level 1 to go all in level 2.
Is there anything more specific than that? Like, how does GP want to do damage to you, and like, what does he want to do?
His big damage is his passive autos, so blocking that.
Blocking, yes, or completely avoiding it altogether. It's really important. So I want to show you something, right? This is an example. It's not the same champion, but the same concept applies. And it's really important. It'll introduce you to dodging out on abilities you know will come, right? Like, so this is really important. I want you to watch how you play the level 1.
Yeah.
Right? What's the cooldown of GP passive? Just so I know you know.
9 seconds?
Nope. 15. It's really long. But you need to know
Okay.
it's going to come back up, okay? So it's really important with these abilities that you want to avoid at all costs, like GP passive. It hurts a lot, so you want to kind of avoid it. You need to know when it's going to come back up. So you have a general mental timer. You can go, oh, it's going to come up soon, right? It's the same as like if a Darius Qs, and then a Darius Q will come back in like 8 seconds, right? Or 9 seconds. I can't remember the cooldown. I think it's 8 seconds.
No, yeah, knowing the window.
Then you back off after like 7 seconds, right? You know it'll be up in a second, and you dodge it. It's the same as not being in melee range as the GP when his passive's going to come up. So here, do you see? You walk away. This is great. How he can't ever... We've already talked about this today, right? He can't ever catch up to you if you maintain the distance.
Yeah.
Right? You have the same move speed. So you just keep running. And then when do you turn around?
When... I guess one thing I found too is that what if he's popping a pot right now, so he's got that movement speed, so he can't catch me?
It's very little move speed, and it won't catch up this distance, right? It has to be a bit closer than that.
So I keep running, I turn around when he gives up on it, but then he try to like auto space me, right?
Yeah, and then maybe you slap him with your empowered Q, right?
Yeah.
But it's really important to not just get hit, because
like that.
It's really important. Like, you either keep the distance and avoid it altogether, or bring your Q into it and block the damage with your shield, right? And then slap him up. You don't just get hit and then try to trade afterwards, because you can never catch him because of move speed from his passive. This is why I recommend avoiding taking the damage altogether, because then you don't give him move speed to run away as well.
How did he catch me? Did I just stop command?
You just stopped.
I
don't know why.
Okay.
You never stop moving when he's moving, and then that way you maintain the same distance. You see that, right? And then I want you to watch. I want you to watch yourself take the second Q, right? So remember, 15 seconds. You should have a timer in your head. Well, it's roughly 15 seconds, right? I don't want you to actually time it because that's too difficult. Just in general, right?
Yeah.
When in 15 seconds time you have to know it will come back up, and you don't want to take that damage again. Oh, it's up, and
then it's up,
and you take damage.
Yeah.
Again. I want you to watch how the best Renekton in China plays against GP passive. Okay. So let me mute this. You see how he's always keeping the same distance, right? And never getting hit by the auto attack. So watch this. He'll even walk up. You see?
Oh my gosh.
Right? And I want you to watch the entire early game doing this. You see?
Wow. The discipline.
Yeah.
Do
you see? This is what I want you to do, right? It's really difficult.
So he's eating Qs, but it's okay because they're not grass Qs.
Eating Qs is completely fine. And then because the Qs are like a bit of damage, right? But the true damage burn is too much. If you take that and Qs, like you're done. So you could take Qs, but the only reason he would ever turn back is if he's gonna miss XP. Then he'll get hit by the passive, right? But the thing is, he's playing against the best Gangplanks in the world, right? You're not. So what's gonna happen if Gangplank can't hit you with passive here? What's he gonna do? What's Gangplank gonna do?
He's.
I
have the shove.
Sure. And if you just kept running and you played like that Chinese Renekton dude, what would Gangplank do?
He'd eat a lot of damage from the minions, right? And then you'd have to go back to the wave and
he'd frustratingly hit the wave and waste his passive, right?
Right.
He wouldn't be like the Chinese Gangplank who never alters a minion and just keeps it up forever. He would just hit it. Like, what all bad Gangplanks do is they will hit the thing and then waste it, and then you can go in and fight because he doesn't have passive anymore, right?
Okay. So if I am GP, because GP is like my second played, that I should level 1 only use my first auto on the champion.
Depends on the match.
Okay.
Sometimes you can't walk up like that, but a lot of the time, yes. Right. But yeah, I hope that showed you how you can play against Gangplank, right? Really important.
Yeah. Okay.
Really important.